So those of you that are here and ready to go, let's just check in. I hope that you've got some comfortable space set up to stretch out. Maybe you've lit a candle for yourself to have that warm reference, the connection. As you take your seat on your mat, consider your posture. Right? How are you meeting the yoga mat tonight? I just noticed that I'm slumping. So here I go, centering and realigning my spine from my base, bottom, to the crown of my head. And wow, that feels better. I hope that throughout our practice tonight, that we'll all consider our posture, right, our alignment through our spine in every pose that we practice. And also, when we're tall, it gives our spine a really nice reference for vertical, ground to sky. It also allows us to breathe better, to fill up completely when we inhale, and to exhale completely, right? Empty the breath out of you. That's an active thing. It's a contraction of muscles in your body. Breath is work. That's why we call it breath work in yoga, the pranayama part of the practice. So that said, as we take our seat, right, ready to begin our asana practice, the poses of yoga, but we're also going to be practicing the breath work of yoga, the pranayama. Tall, rooted, rising, and breathing. Breathing and preparing ourselves for another evening of candlelight yoga. And as you sit tall and engage deeper breaths into your body, take a look at your candle. And if you haven't had a chance to light one, use mine. Watch the flame for a moment. Notice it moves, it expands. In moments it contracts. The flame has a dance. As you sit in your seat, may your spine and your breath start to have a little dance. Movement, thoughtful movement. I'm beginning with just a slide side to side, still grounded in the base, but beginning to open up really lovely stretches along the side body. Noticing where I've been holding tension. Where are you holding your tension? Let's begin a circling action. Arms are comfortably rested on your lap, or you could have your hands on the ground. But the real action is in the spinal circles that you're drawing. Let's smoothly change direction. May we explore the range. How big of a circle does it feel good for you to draw with the trunk, the torso? of your body. One more trunk circle. And back to center. Let's inhale, arms reach up to the sky, look up, stretch arms upward evenly. Feel the sides of your body, the sides of your spine reaching up evenly. And then let your arms fall to your sides like snow angels, yeah. Inhaling up. Now I'm going to sit forward just a little bit, flex forward, hands clasp behind our back. Oh, that's going to be a deep stretch. And if you can't clasp your hands, it's okay. Find a nice expanding chest stretch. If the hands don't clasp behind, fingertips to the mat behind will work to create the chest expanding experience. Breathe. Lengthen your arms. Neutralize your wrists best that you can. And give a little squeeze to the muscles between your shoulder blades. Like you're going to crack a walnut right in that space. And if you want to go a little deeper, if that feels good, honor your body. And slowly release your arm. Reach up through arms, through all of your fingers, but also sides of the rib cage. Elevate. And the arms fall slowly to our sides. Let's get a connection on right leg, hooking with the right arm, sitting up tall. Let's take a twist towards the right inner thigh. Find a calm, deep breath in your twisting pose. If it feels good, look back over the right shoulder, right? Without craning or straining the neck. We face forward and allow our right knee to just peel outward, falling towards the ground. Adjust your base and fold forward gently into Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose. It may feel good tonight to take your hands, fingers, and reach them back behind you, right? Fingerprints on the ground behind you as you fold forward over your hip hinge, lengthening the spine. Let's breathe. One more deeply filling breath, my friends. And then we sit up tall and change legs. Let's translate Janu Shirshasana to the other side. Right leg extended. Good stretches, arms back. And notice as you reach your fingerprints back, your shoulder heads are pulling away from your ears. Let's focus on that lengthening of our neck space. One more deep breath. And then we rise. We'll peel up, right? Or lift up, left leg into hooking action, right? Now let's take our twist to the left. Looking back over our left shoulder. If that feels good in the neck, if it doesn't feel particularly good, you can turn your head to the point, right? That felt good, where your head is still really tall and well balanced above your shoulders, above your, your root. Untwisting, facing forward, bringing both legs in hard, Baddha Konasana, our sitting butterfly pose, seated bound angle. Now, arms reach up, reach up. Root down through your base as you reach upward. And let's breathe. And then hands back, right? Fingerprints on the mat behind you as it's supporting, it's guiding as you fold forward over hip hinge. Again, find that point of forward flexion, bending forward. That feels good. And if arms behind you, if you're not digging that, arms can come back to the front for a more traditional variation. Honor your body. It's always cool to try new things. You might find that one thing that really helps you understand your body in the yoga pose. Those are those beautiful aha moments in yoga. May we have many of them together in candlelight yoga. If you want to, if hands are back, all bring them forward to ankles, hands to floor. I'm going from my feet, but not to pull on them, just to position. So that perhaps we fold in a little deeper. Let's body position for a few rounds of breath, for a few poses. Let's come onto hands and knees, tabletop. Exhale into our cat. Inhale into cow. Right, let's take more than a few rounds of cats and cows. May your inhale be deeply filling, and your exhales are totally emptying. All right. To right side, right arm, right knee. And again, right knee has a couple of positions. It could be lower leg position down the side of the mat or perpendicular to the mat. Left hand to sky. Balancing well, right? Finding that it's called hasta bandha, your hand lock, your hand placement. And that's really the origin of this pose in the moment, the origin of our balance. And starting from your right wrist, beginning to stack your joints, your elbows, your shoulders are stacking above each other as the left hand reaches up to the sky. expanding across chest and hips. Now let's change sides. Left hand, left knee touch down, and we'll shift over, right? Choose your leg, left leg, lower leg position. Steady your left arm balance. Be thoughtful about how you're aligning on the mat. Again, stacking your joints, wrists, elbows, shoulders. And right hand and right knee come back to the ground. Let's take child's pose. Ease your bottom back. And instead of rounding in or recoiling, instead, pull your heart forward. Lower the heart and then forehead center. Resting on forehead center. And breathing into 360 degrees of your body, right? All of this space that surrounds your vertebral column, right? The spinal chain is your center. But there's so much gorgeous space around the spine to fill. And that finding that inner breath flow, the ease of it, that's bliss, right? Ananda, bliss. And slowly come out of your child's pose. You're going to be hands and knees again, tabletop position. Lift, we're going to lift opposites. So I'm going to give you a big clue right here. Opposites are lifting in case you get a little confused moving forward. Opposites are always lifting. So right leg lift, left arm. And lengthen and strengthen, right? Zip the belly muscles up. Lengthen your body, toes to fingers. And change sides. Now left leg, right arm. Body is lengthening and leveling. Definitely we're balancing and breathing. Let's put them all together, the dynamics of yoga. Change sides, right? Right leg, left arm, spinal balance. Right? Change sides again, please. And downward facing dog. And we're going to hold downward dog for 5 deep breaths. Take it slow. Allow your knees to bend. Feel your front paws, your hands tractioning downward and forward. And as you're breathing deeply, right, 360-degree breathing, creating a whole lot of length through your spine and your arms. Good stretches. And after you finish, right after you empty breath 5, after you've done that 5th breath, come to your seat for the moment. We're going to come straight back to our beginning pose, right? We did right leg bent. We gave the connection tall. And we took a twist. Now we'll rotate to face forward again, rotate back to center. Now left hand to ground and mat, right? Left hand to ground. I'm using right foot push down, I'm using left heel push down, and left arm balance. It's another arm balancing, side planking opportunity. And slowly lower your hips back down to the ground to starting position, right? We were hooking the right leg at start. Right leg peeled out right, fall slowly to the floor. Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose. One more deep breath. And we sit up and change legs. Right leg straightens and left leg comes bent leg. Bent legs being hugged by the left arm. Sitting up tall, aligning spine vertically, and then rotating right into our twist. Consider how you're seated and how your spine is aligned in your twist. And now we release to face forward. Right hand to the ground, to the mat. And we lift up into our right arm balance, right? A version of wild thing. Lowering hips to ground. Right, coming back to the start position to release the left leg to ground. Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose. Breathe deep. One more breath. And we sit up. Both legs come into butterfly pose. Baddha Konasana, seated bound angle. Considering our posture, right? Checking in, realigning if we need to, and deciding if we're going to flex forward or not. That's not a requirement. Finding comfort in the pose, finding good stretches, and being able to breathe in the pose. That's yoga. And we sit up tall again, changing position. That's important, right? To do different things, counter poses, right? Tabletops. Let's find a few more smooth rounds of cat and cow poses. Exhales, draw out the cat pose, and our inhale draws us into the cow pose. And these poses are opportunities to draw beautiful curves, arcing actions in the spinal body, and to activate our spine all the way from the bottom of our hips to the tops of our shoulders and head. One more round of breath, exhaling, inhaling into cow, where we're looking forward again. Just honor this pose for a moment. Feel the shoulder heads spread apart, your collarbones spread apart gently. Have a deep breath. And then we shall lengthen and tabletop action through our spine, right? So zipping the belly up. Spinal balance, right leg, left arm. Lifting, breathing. Now bend your right leg. Left arm can reach back towards it or catch it. Which action can you do comfortably and sustain for many breaths? Tiger pose, Vyagrasana. And release, changing sides. Left leg, right arm, lift and lengthen. There's a lot of balance going on, arm balance in the left arm. Bend, left leg, catch. Maybe you catch, maybe you don't. But there is a reach back in either or. Tiger pose. And release. To child's pose, tail eases back, heart pulls forward gently, resting on center forehead. Enjoy a few rounds of deep breaths. All right, slowly, you're gonna come out of child's pose and have a seat on the mat again. And just check in with your body, right? This is where we started. Close your eyes gently. Tune in to your body. Hopefully, it's feeling really different than when we first sat down together. Now we open our eyes. We're going to come back for that third wave of asana. So left leg forward, right leg bent, give a hook. Let's take a twist. Engaging deep breaths in our twisting pose. We face forward, coming back to start position. Left hand to round to mat. Beginning our right arm balance, our wild thing variation. Slowly we ease hips back to the ground. Right leg peels down. Janu Shirshasana. May we find it smoothly. And breathe deeply. Let's sit up out of Janu Shirshasana. We straighten our right leg and bring the left leg into bend. Give it a hook with the left arm to sit up tall. Right? Check your posture. And from our tallest body, then we take our twist, right? Because twists have an order of operations. Aligning tall, ground to sky, right? Vertical alignment. And then rotating around that vertical line. One more deep breath here. We release. Right hand to ground to mat, and we lift our hips up by pressing down into wild thing variation. So strong in our arm balance. Slowly ease your hips back to the ground. Start position is found, and then we release the left leg to ground. Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose. And we'll sit up slowly, nice and tall. Please bring both feet into Baddha Konasana, 2 angles in our legs, sitting tall. Enjoy a few deep breaths here in bound angle pose. And allow yourself to go as deep or not into the pose as what does your body invite tonight? What are you being invited to do from within? The thing I truly love about yoga, and it took me so long to learn it, is yoga is not demanding anything of you. Its only demand really would be for you to listen deeply to your body. So instead of the practice being demanding of you, instead, no, you're dialing it back to the place in the practice where you understood what you were doing, where you could breathe and not struggle, where you aligned your body, but you also aligned with the stretch reflex and not strain to get further than that. All right, now, please very sweetly, lovingly lie yourself on back onto your mat, and we'll build a bridge pose. And you can bridge with arms on the ground at your sides, or you can clasp hands, taking the bound hands bridge. Either or, do what feels good. Again, what does the body invite you to do? Bind or no bind? The most important part of bridge pose is the standing action in your shoulders and arm backs. That's where you are actually standing more powerfully through shoulders and arm backs, way more powerfully than in your feet. Your feet are balancing points, of course, but power and action is in the shoulders standing and hips, belly rising. And then last, beautiful key action for us to seek here in the bridge pose is 360-degree breathing. Now slowly bring your hips, your bridge touches down to the ground, bottom heavy again. Let's visit feet together, knees apart, reclining bound angle pose. Feet touching together creates a gentle stretch across our inner thighs. Let's bring our knees together, right? Closing the leg space. Lift our heels, give knees a hug, or give hamstrings a hug, right back of the legs or the shin bones. You're holding tucked legs comfortably. Notice if your tailbone is peeling up towards the sky drastically. Let the tailbone ease back down towards ground. Now taking our right leg, crossing over the left leg at the thigh. Thigh crossing, bent legs. Roll bent legs to the left. Spreading arms and chest and shoulders across the floor. Visiting another twisting pose tonight and discovering the value of 360-degree breathing right here, right now. Now, dear friends, move your body smoothly back to center, uncross, and left leg now crosses over the right, right? Thigh crossing, bent legs, roll legs to the right. Surrender the weight of your legs to the right. Anchor your shoulders back, expanding your arms and chest and shoulders across the ground. Let's breathe. And smoothly we come back to center, and let's go for another round of twists. Right crosses over the left, bent legs, shift to the left, surrender the weight of legs, anchor shoulders back, breathe deep. Ignite that small sense of inner thigh squeeze, right? Legs are adducting, adding legs together as we anchor shoulders back. And now smoothly we lift, untwist, change twist, legs to the right. Slowly come back to center, right? No whipping around. There's smooth, controlled movement. And then let your feet fade back to the floor. Extend your legs, extend your arms. You come to your final pose, your final relaxation. Let your body rest and let the ground beneath you support you completely. The backs of your shoulders, the backs of your arms, really very sleepy on the ground without tension. Explore, right? Be an explorer, the depths of your breath. Dive in, swim around, bask in your deep breathing. Breathing as if you were delivering oxygen to every cell in your body. And in that loving action, in that deep breathing action, you really are bathing the smallest components of your body. Cleaning out the stagnancies, creating these beautiful little springs of life in the places that may have felt a little dark and stagnant when we came to the mat this evening. Right? Deep breathing is nourishing. Movement is nourishing. Again, I use the term, let the ground beneath you support you, right? Let the earth beneath you hold you. Now is the time to care for our planet. We're all shareholders in our earth, even if our holding may seem tiny. But one by one, then together, we can make a difference. We hold its future in our hands. Even the smallest individual kindnesses count when multiplied by mankind. Make your commitment, play your role. We do not inherit the land from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children. This Wednesday is Earth Day, so I thought I'd just leave you with that beautiful thought. So may we be good shareholders in our planet. Thank you for showing up for candlelight yoga yet again. And may you have a happy resurfacing from your shavasana, right? Coming back to seated. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Sweet dreams.